The Abade of Baçal Museum. At the end of 1914, the furniture and other elements of the former episcopal palace were put up for public auction by the Diocese of Bragança Miranda. Episcopal Palace is the residence of the bishops. After the authorities were notified, the collection was partially acquired by the state and given to the future Bragança's Regional Museum of Art. Archaeological pieces and numismatics, created on 13 November 1915. The museum was only renamed the Abade of Baçal's Museum in 1935 when Francisco Manuel Alves, the Abade of Baçal, retired. The appointment of Álvaro Carneiro as its first director was not well received locally. It was a political choice that went against local wishes, and the relationship between Álvaro Carneiro and Bragança City Council was difficult. As a result, the museum was closed to the public and had no activity until the Abade arrived in the 1920s. The Abade of Baçal ran the museum from 1925 to 1935 and created the Bragança's group of Friends of Monuments and Works of Art. The initial collection grew with donations from friends and artists. Many objects that the Abade discovered on his archaeological trips around the district and the purchase of other objects. Raul Teixeira advised the Abade on these purchases which, once restored, became part of the permanent exhibition. At this time, important assets were handed over to the museum and gave rise to new rooms, such as the Abel Salazar's room in 1935. During the 10 years of the Abade's direction, the museum was opened to the public in 1927. The collections grew into new areas, and it established itself as an institution in the district and in the country. This period of the museum's formation continued under the direction of Raul Teixeira, 1935 to 55. The artistic soul of the museum, as the Abade called him. In 1939, the National Board of Education officially recognized Raul Teixeira for his dynamism and for purchasing works of art from famous painters. Most of the works of art from the 1930s to the 1950s came from acquisitions, donations, deposits from central museums and organizations in the region, and from the estate bequeathed by the Sá Vargas family in 1939. Once restored, these objects were exhibited in specific rooms, such as the Sá Vargas room and the Modern Art Gallery. In the 1950s, Guerra Janqueiro's estate arrived at the museum, consisting of furniture and paintings from the region. In the 1960s, it was the turn of Trinidad Coelho's estate, which was later transferred to Mogadouro. The main numismatic collection was donated in 1973 by Colonel Ramirez, consisting of 2,000 national coins. 20 years later, Eduardo Costa's collection was added, which included furniture and paintings. New objects from the region are constantly being added because a museum is like a living organism. In this museum, archaeology, ethnography, and art are the most prominent of areas.